Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
We have returned for session number 2.
Thought we might do it in one session because how long to beat is all like, it's like 3 hours or something. But then you got to remember those are all based on like some guy sitting in silence playing alone.
Yeah, sorry.
And not like
Well,
it's not a let's player discussing the ideas and all that.
I pad out the runtime.
Not just you, it's just doing any presentation at all that isn't just clicking through all the options as fast as possible. The way that somebody would do alone is gonna like double the duration of this kind of game. So we circled something. What did we circle?
Florence. Okay, so we need to look up Florence because
it was the next search we were gonna do last time.
Oh yeah, we got some
exactly
results.
5.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time.
Sounds like a midwife
The midwife
crisis.
was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Well, we're finally getting her a backstory over time.
It's funny,
we were starting to get it at the end of last session a little bit, but it was like once we started realizing that the parents didn't know that there was 2 girls, it got really confusing because they're like, how the fuck do you accidentally have 2 daughters?
So okay, so it's kind of funny. So our first recording is actually kind of a bombshell. So we like instantly fell into a bombshell after like a few day hiatus on this, because yeah. So they mentioned Florence basically, and I knew she was gonna be like a maid or a midwife or something. But yeah, we know already that they were living in the same house without their parents knowing, and we were both very confused as to how that was possible.
Yeah. I mean, I've accidentally had 2 copies of the same book a few times, but that's like...
I got one of them.
It's much easier to accidentally order 2 copies of a book than, like, birth a second child and not know.
I don't know, man. You just misplace things sometimes, you know. You just, like, lose your remote control. You lose your kid. It's like, whatever.
I don't know. It's after the first one. The second one just fell out. It's like it was nothing.
Well, they
Didn't even feel it.
They do say that with twins. Like, you have your first one, and then you're just like, oh, second one's easy.
The second one's easier, but I'm sure it's still like
Still
a
sucks.
problem.
All of it, I'm sure, sucks.
I don't think it just.
I'm not belittling any of it.
I don't think you don't notice.
Whoops.
Maybe when you're Octomom, then you hit a point where it's like, as you're having your 8 simultaneous children, you might lose count.
I just
2 is a pretty easy number to count too.
I just saw a picture of all those Octobomb kids together in like a family portrait, which was kind of interesting. I forgot about that up until when I saw that on the news. That
was somebody who was having 8 children at once, right?
Yeah, but it was she did like an in vitro fertilization situation, but usually when you do that,
they did it too much, did too well.
Well, usually when you do that, they put in extra eggs because not all of them take. But this time they all took.
Oh no.
But she refused to give up any of them, which was very controversial because that could literally kill you.
Yeah, you would think so. That's literally like, she was like, in the movie Slither, she was the woman who gets like locked in the barn and all the leeches are growing in her and there's just like hundreds of her and she's a giant blob.
Ooh, hot.
You need to watch Slither sometime. It's from the guy that made Guardians. He used to make like grindhouse horror movies. They're really funny.
I like trash. Like I like some trash horror movies.
I love the entire spectrum of monster movies, from like genuinely scary to like slot garbage. All of it's good.
Well, I mean, it's not a monster movie, but I mentioned to you the other day how much I fucking love Cabin Fever. I was like, I really want to watch Cabin Fever. That's just like what cheesy ass, stupid ass horror movie. It's great.
Okay, so
but anyways, sorry.
So the story was that she always knew that she had twins, but one of them was supposed to have died in childbirth.
Well, she had mentioned earlier that she had, like, mother had one child that was healthy and one that was not.
Yeah, because the neck was wrapped around her neck. The umbilical cord wrapped around the second child's neck, or at least that's what the midwife said. And it sounded like the mom only planned on and only expected one child, so she just kind of wanted to get past it.
That's fine.
What happened.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. Well.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
Ooh.
You lived across the street?
Well, across. Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess
They
so.
lived across the street from each other.
Yeah, that's kind of
She lived
obvious.
across the street from her midwife who stole her baby.
Or she let
Identical
have
twin.
the baby. The midwife just stole it, or do you think she was just like, "Oh, just take the other one. I only need one."
What was like what happened in the diary is the midwife lied and said the other baby was dead.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Florence was a warm, kind person,
Like Florence Nightingale.
but she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again.
Yeah, you said that.
I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
She's kind of just talking in circles there.
Yeah, that-
it seems almost offensive,
Yeah.
but
Back when you married for life. That is weird to think about, though, like having already been married and widowed that early. It's quick.
yeah, I'm sorry. Like, nope. Peace.
I'm about to be done with my 20s. I only got a couple months left.
I only have a couple years left.
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it, and I'm going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
That's surprising because it makes something more coincidental here. It's like, oh, they're twin sisters who are both named palindromes. It's like parents are being cute there with the names. But apparently it was actually the name that the midwife and her dead husband were going to name their first child decades ago. So it's just a huge coincidence that she's named Eve and she's also a palindrome.
And it's also a coincidence that she's a girl when Florence's whole family always has girls.
Yeah.
Specifically, so
So I was ready to just accept that it was like some kind of like,
matching names, hee hee.
yeah, it was just like one of those cute things that parents inflict upon their twins, which I've seen several of in real life. Like instances of like, oh, why'd you do
Huey
that?
and Dewey.
Marissa and Carissa.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Tia and Tamara.
Just like, why did you name them that? It's like you're just gonna reinforce their twinness in their names. It just seems kind of cruel.
Although I think Tia and Tamara, so I think they were like named separately. I don't know. I used to
Here are
love
my
watching
twins.
Sister,
Their names are
Sister.
Tabula and Rasa. Just like make them incomplete from birth because they're each half of a name. It's like, god damn.
I must have a twin out there named Steven.
We really can't escape twins, by the way. It's in every single game I'm playing. like one of the prominent figures in Disco Elysium is a pair of twins where people can't tell which one's which except one of them has a lazy eye. And then there's and then of course Pokemon and so on. And it's just like, oh, and when I was playing Temtem with Andrew, and there was two twins that can't tell who they are. They mix themselves up with each other.
Oh.
So Temtem has twins too, and I'm like, why is every game obsessed with twins right now? And then, like, completely not knowing, I wander into fucking her story just because it's been requested for so long, and we finally had them set up to record the way I wanted it to. And it's a game about twins. I'm like, god damn it, why is every game I'm playing about twins? It's getting weird.
I love that concept of, like, the twins not knowing which one they are. My favorite book, 100 Years of Solitude, has two characters like that, and they switch back and forth so much that they don't even remember who they are.
That's
and then
weird.
And then when they bury them, they accidentally put each other in the wrong graves, or they put like the ones in the, so at the end you're not even really sure which one was which one from the beginning, and as you're reading it you're not sure if they're switching as you're reading it. It's kind of a weird, I don't know.
It's a lot to take in.
But I love it. But yeah, I'm gonna remember that we have some twin omen things.
Nope. Only.
I was thinking
only instance of umbilical cord.
diary. She's talking about Florence's diary.
Nope.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
I have 100% never, ever, ever kept any kind of diary.
Everyone's on the same page. Like all of my multiple personalities are on the same page. What a thing to say, huh?
The only diary I have ever kept is this channel.
You know, that actually kind of is. I think about like...
I mean, it is a literal verbatim document of like a fourth of my life for the last decade or something like that.
Well, even just now I think about how like it'll be funny if I'm older looking back and like hearing myself talk as a younger person.
Oh yeah, because this will be up forever.
Ew.
And ever, unless YouTube explodes tomorrow or something.
Well, the world will end
and the
someday.
entire record of its existence is gone. Or I guess just the power goes out for like in Revolution and there's no power on the planet, then I guess there's no YouTube.
Yeah, but
Or the Death Stranding occurs.
if the power goes out, we all die. We know we're too reliant. It'll be the apocalypse for us.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day, and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Damn,
that was when the midwife died, right?
Yeah, she turned really fast. She was like, oh, she's dead. I'm just gonna leave and just go join my real family now.
Huh.
It's traitorous.
So that's what caused the twin situation to happen with all the pretending and everything, is the midwife's death at the age of 8.
That means, yeah, the other sister hid her in the attic and they lived together.
They grew up separately for a long time still.
Yeah.
Girl's got a healthy appetite.
She's eating quite a lot.
Why is it so funny to me? Oh, it's because it reminds me of all the times that Fleabag does like the impression of like the men in her life.
Oh yeah, she does do
And
it just like that.
Yeah, she does like the little line of like,
But like with a little English accent still.
Yeah.
So.
but like a woman's, English woman's impression of an English man's voice specifically has like a particular.
So
cadence.
Topham Hatt.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events, and agreed rules to walk our way through them.
I like how they use the same phrase, but its meanings change so much. Because at the beginning, she's just like innocent, and like, oh yeah, just we would just you know, everyone's on the same page. I've kept a diary as long as I can remember. And then at the end of the line, it's like we were two twins swapping places our entire lives, and we had the diary because everyone needs to be on the same page.
That
the same phrasing.
Ugh.
How spooky is that?
That is super spooky.
Also, what a fucking giving ass twin to just like, yeah, I'll give you half my life.
Yeah.
Like, I had a life for the first 8 years now, but here at the age of 8, where I basically am not even developed enough to have empathy yet, I'm just going to give you half of my days or something, and you can just pretend to be me.
Well, granted, as a kid, you're going to school. Maybe you want to trade half your days. Maybe you want to go home. You just want to stay home and read books and stuff. But she has to hide all the time.
Also, I'm still iffy on what the motivation is to not just admit she exists.
Yeah.
Sounds so complicated, as opposed to just being like, I have a sister.
Well, okay, if that one girl brought the diary over, like she didn't burn the diary, and she walked across the street with this diary and showed the other twin's mother, act like biological mother, look, I am also your biological daughter. I obviously look the same as your fucking kid. Duh. I think that mom would probably be like, oh, I'm responsible for this.
Dad?
Ooh, yeah, what about Dad?
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need.
Oh.
Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
I'm totally thinking that they conspired with each other to kill her husband.
Yeah.
Like they both did. They seem way too cooperative overall.
And they also apparently don't need him because they put him in the basement where they don't need things.
Because there's either one where they conspired together to take down her husband, and also hide, and also do this whole talk and everything, or it was that what we're calling the evil twin slept with the husband, got pregnant, revealed surprise baby, eventually murdered husband, and then also maybe has already murdered a good sister. She might be dead right now.
Yeah.
Because there's signs of violence midway through the interviews, and then she seems to replace her, which kind of makes it feel like maybe like either they went back to their back and forth they always did, or she actually straight up killed her.
I think that second theory has more to it because there's too many parts in that you can't use to support the first theory.
Yeah.
Because there's that whole like, oh, she's not here anymore, and then there's like, oh, is this the room where you're going to arrest me? Try arresting someone that doesn't exist. Like, I don't have names on a paper. Think about how sinister this is. I got a tattoo that expresses my individuality. I don't know. I get the impression that there's a rogue.
Think about how many layers there are here, because like think about the fact that the woman who just told us that like, oh, yes, I think the bags and the tape, I think they were from my house and all that stuff. She's the one that we're pretty sure is the evil sister. That's the orange lady.
Yeah, we think.
So you're like, whoa.
Well, because the one's like, oh, I got a bruise, I just fell into a wall or whatever. She says some dumb bullshit like, I fell in the kitchen. I don't know if that's true or not. Mm-hmm. And then later it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. My bruise just healed up really fast. I wonder if that's like that was the taking over point.
Yeah, that was the first sign we got about the idea that they're switching off. Then we kept finding new things to differentiate them with.
I wonder if the bruise is a part of it, though. Like, I punched her in the face.
Well, yeah, I think bad sister assaulted good sister because they were having arguments about what's happening and so on.
They were in disagreement as to how to proceed. And
I think that was the good sister's last interview, and then it escalated and she just got killed or replaced in some way.
Well, maybe she's
because I don't think she's shown up since then. I think all the interviews after that point are that. But we don't have the firmest timeline. We haven't necessarily fully chronicled all of the shirts and then said what order they're in.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that we didn't do. We haven't been writing down dates in relation to the shirts.
But we can, because it's always on the screen. You don't even have to like play anything, because I can just click on any of them and the dates are legible right there on the screen.
Yeah,
we could actually try to label each one. Because do you think you've listed every shirt so far?
I've listed every shirt. The only thing that is going to be kind of difficult is I don't think we're going to remember exactly what was said with each shirt.
Yeah, but going forward,
even if we
could
chronicle, I guess
if we chronicle it, if we start chronicling the order now, then we can have a stronger idea going forward whenever we see stuff, which person's saying it.
Yeah. No, I think so. So basically, what we need to know or what I need to figure out the most is like I'm assuming a white shirt is last.
Oh yeah, the inmate looking one.
If we can verify that, that would be cool. And then I'm assuming the oh, my husband's missing
is first,
but I don't remember what shirt she was wearing in that. I think it's the blue soccer shirt was the blue t-shirt.
The blue blazer.
The blue soccer shirt is really early too, but I can't figure out if
I think that the blue blazer and the two like diner tops are like with the ponytail and the shirt are like really early.
But then the orange one, where's the orange one? Because the orange one
the orange one's the trade-off.
So we think orange one's trade-off. Okay.
Yeah.
So that should be a transitional.
So you have your list somewhere. We can just start annotating them right now. Yeah.
Okay, so orange shirt.
So just going off of this screen alone, orange is on June 27th.
6/27.
And here's the thing: there's a lot of blue shirts to keep track of. There's blue short sleeve top.
Well, that's soccer
there's the
shirt.
Blue jacket.
Blue blazer.
There's like the diner top. But then there's
mom.
also like this
Flower mom.
Yeah, flower mom. Is this what you called them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, flower mom is June 30th.
Okay.
Diner mom is June 25th.
June 25th. Okay, that's even earlier.
Blue blazer is 6/18.
Okay, that's even earlier.
The blue like short sleeve shirt is
Soccer shirt.
July 1st.
See, that's a soccer shirt.
Soccer shirt.
Yeah, because that's it says soccer on it.
And then inmate is July 3rd. So soccer shirt's only 2 days before the inmate. And that's not necessarily every single shirt, but that's all the ones we have on screen right now. And when we see new ones, we can date those. It's probably probably should have done this sooner, actually.
Oh, the only one we don't have now is the like the one that you keep calling black that is actually navy blue.
Well, it's to differentiate it from the really blue jacket she's wearing here.
Yeah, but there's
she's got like a long sleeve skin tight thing. We'll see when it pops up again. But let's finish these two stories before I leave the page.
Yes,
Also, we need to figure out how to narrow down dad. That's actually one thing we've never done this game.
What's that?
We haven't really done multiple search terms together to try to narrow down when we have like a long list like this one that's 10.
You know what I want to do after dad that I need to tell you now before I forget?
Yeah.
Is I want you to put in her story.
Her story.
Because she said her story, and
yeah.
I'm
you want to see how many times it comes up in the narrative where you can make the roll credits joke?
Well, I wasn't sure if it was like heavily emphasized. It seemed emphasized. I wasn't sure if it was because it was like the title of the game,
the diary, and it was,
or if it was because
read her story.
Well, yeah, but was it Florence's story or her sister's story?
Oh my god,
that Florence wrote. Like, so that's where I read her story, but she said it in a way that
it was Florence's diary.
Yeah, but that's how she figured out the other girl was like her sister in the story of that. So is she referring to her story, like the girl across the street, or her story, the mom that she has in the house?
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
Oh, so she's trying to discuss how someone could have gotten in to kill Simon or whatever.
You would need like a child to break in through a cat flap.
Oh, yeah, like there's no way a person could fit through.
No.
They're really small. Those things are like 8 by 8.
Meanwhile, it's very easy to fit through a dog door for like a Labrador. I've done it.
Oh, I have too.
I've had to break into my own house before because I lost my keys or something, or locked myself out. I just went in through the hole because we had a yellow lab, So I could just go in. Oop.
Yeah, my family had an English Mastiff, and we decided against the dog door because you could just freaking walk through that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, an English Mastiff is so big you don't even need to try to get in.
Mm-mm.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe.
They got murdered.
Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Your sister murdered your parents.
Also, you can tell if someone's eaten, like, well, I don't know how old, well, this is 90s.
Their sister definitely murdered their parents.
Yeah, I think so.
They got poisoned.
So, yes, because the flower shirt would still be Hannah.
Yeah. How would you narrow down dad? Car.
Dad.
It's a Hail Mary.
Dad, Simon? Did they get along? Mushroom.
Oh,
There's one.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed. Was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning. They were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them. And there's no way you would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
That's a huge contradiction.
What?
When her sister told the story, she said that her parents lived alone. And when her sister tells the story, she lived in the attic when they died and came down to find their bodies. But they never looked in the attic, which means they never found that she was in the house.
Yeah.
So she was in the house when they died, so that she definitely murdered them.
Well, and
then she's just like, oh, I don't know. He was a mushroom expert. He should have never died. It's weird.
Well, I mean, so they both say that, but does that mean that obviously, well, at some point the sisters were living together with them trading off in the attic? Was there a point where, like, because Hannah leaves to go be with Simon, right? So does that mean the one sister just stayed behind?
And they never knew that she existed. So she totally is the secret grandma in the attic. Like, she actually was stowing away in the room that she used to stay in, but still as a secret after her sister left. And then she murdered them. She probably murdered them so she could have the house. She murdered them so Simon and her sister would come back. Because they inherit the house from their parents.
Yeah, they say, yeah.
They inherit their parents' house and live there. So she murdered her own parents so that they would...
So they can play games again and switch off back and forth again.
Well, yeah, because she was alone, and that's like the life she got used to. So she just selfishly brought them back that way. And then she fucked her husband and had a baby. But
then one of them lost the baby, and then one kept the baby.
Oh my god, it keeps getting complicated.
She said STD. Right?
Yeah, there's stuff going on.
What?
Here.
Like, what was
we
that?
We also still have like 4 more dad things to find somewhere. Oops, STF. Sexually transmitted fuckery.
It's not wrong.
Yeah. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow.
Well, there we go.
So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. And I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
What a problem to have, where the she doesn't want to exist, but also she wants a baby.
That good luck existing with a good luck not existing with a baby.